You sent me two games at once, and this is the second one. I benchmarked the first one, but I'm sure that they both have similar problems, so I'm just going to watch this one through quickly rather than going through the 7 benchmarks. So the first benchmark I'm looking at, quick as I can, is whether you started these gas on time, whether you saturated them on time, looks like you did, whether you get your factory on time, looks like this is good, 5-minute factory, whether you get exactly a 6-minute starport, looks like no. No, okay, so it's a little bit late on the starport. Whether you get yourself an 8-minute Banshee, obviously it's earliest you could possibly get it with the way you did this build is 8:50. So even though you did the best I've ever seen you do, you're still not going to have a Banshee until 8 minutes and 30 seconds, 8 minutes 40 seconds. So what I like to do, because it's not as important when you get the Hellions out as when you get the Banshee out, is you make the factory, and then you immediately make a tech lab on the racks, and then you lift the racks and start the reactor, and then you make one Hellion while the reactor is still building, and then you build the starport on the already completed tech lab, and then you can start the Banshee the second that starport finishes. Then you obviously swap the factory onto the racks, onto the reactor. Getting 3-3 by 18 minutes means 3 minutes per upgrade. You need to start them by 9 minutes, right? Because 9 plus 9 is 18. So you need to be starting upgrades close to right now, which is perfect. You did good on that. Your gas is really high. I would like to have seen additional factories earlier, but, you know, it's okay. You're going for 2 factories here. I'd like to see 3. And so when I was watching you play against other people, I kept saying, you know, it's around 10 minutes. Why don't you take one of your Banshees and go scout for his Spire? Because if he's making mutas, he's going to have them in your base right now, and you'd be dead. So just like getting the Banshee too late means you're going to die to a Roach all-in, not looking for the Spire like you're doing in this game, you're just going to die to mutas. So really, you need to... I mean, you got one Thor popping, but if he came right now with 10 mutas, this Thor would pop, he would kill it, and then he would kill you. So even the Thor isn't good enough to defend against mutas by itself. Really, the best defense is to know whether mutas are coming, because then you can save money by not making the turrets. So if right now, for example, you had scanned his base and seen, oh, an Infestor Pit, well, he's obviously not making mutas, and then you would be perfectly safe doing exactly what you did. So this guy... If you had harassed with the Banshee, you can see, like, it takes a long time for Queens to kill a Banshee. You could easily have gotten over here, seen the Infestor Pit, and gone home. So that's something I'd like you to get used to doing. Just finding out whether a Spire is coming. You can either scan or you can use the Banshee to do it. I like to use the Banshee to do it because it costs less. And that's good. Next benchmark we're looking into is 10 minutes, 6 gas. Obviously nowhere near that. You had this CC in plenty of time. And you could easily have taken 6 gas by 10 minutes, but you didn't even try. And that's a problem, man. You're missing this benchmark every time so far. I've never seen you take 10-minute gas. So get that CC over there and take this gas. Also, pre-build the gas geysers, because as soon as you land, you want to be mining gas. You don't want to land and then build the gas geysers, because that just adds like 30 seconds or a minute to when you actually start getting gas. The next benchmark is 14 minutes. You want to be on 8 gas geysers. So it's all the way to 14 minutes now, and you're nowhere near 8 gas geysers. But let's see if you hit it. I mean, maybe. Maybe you're going to do it all at once. So, again, the Banshee Thor easily mops up his nonsense. That was fine. But, again, you land this CC, but you didn't pre-build the gas geysers. So you're still not mining gas over here. Still not mining gas over there. He's going to come and attack you, but it's not going to do anything. And still not mining gas, still not mining gas, still not mining gas. So the 14-minute 8 gas geysers, nowhere near that. This is a problem I've seen in almost every one of your games. You build these gas geysers and you don't put guys on it. Remember, you don't care at all about minerals, so as soon as you make the geysers, put guys on it. Like before they're even done building. There's no excuse not to do that because you don't need the minerals. Next benchmark is 18 minutes. You want 10 orbitals at least. 200 unit space and 3-3 done, right? So, or 3-3 either done or almost done. So it looks like you're going to do good with 3-3. I doubt you're going to have 10 orbitals. It looks like you're going to have 5, which is better than 3, but way worse than 10. So let's pause it at 18 minutes and see what's going on. Looks like you're only going to have 2 orbitals at 18 minutes. I recognize that you just lost your base, but that should bring you down to 9, not 2. And look, you have $5,000, so you could easily afford the orbitals, you just didn't. So no excuse monetarily. Next benchmark is 22 minutes. You're going to want 10 orbitals, 10 factories, 5 starports, 200 unit space, and no more than 50 workers. You want to have suicided off these workers because you no longer need the minerals. You don't need a mineral income. And what mineral income you do need, you're going to get from those 10 orbitals dropping mules. You don't need to waste supply on SCVs getting it. So the reason that that's so important is if you look, right now you're maxed on 200U, but if we count your army size, you have a $9,000 army. 200U, $9,000. That's so tiny. If he makes a $15,000 or $16,000 army, and I was looking through some of Nick's games and benchmarking them and stuff, and in 2 of his games, his Zerg opponent had a $15,000 army. And I looked and saw one of my own games against a guy whose name was Barcodes. He had a $15,000 army. So it's pretty typical for a Zerg's Doom army to be $15,000. If you have a $9,000 army, it doesn't matter what composition you went for. You might look at that and be like, man, I didn't have enough Thors. I shouldn't have had so many Ravens when he went pure, I don't know, but whatever it is that he has, the real problem is your army size, not the composition. If you have a $9,000 army, you're never going to beat a $15,000 army unless he's a moron. So right now this guy is clearly a moron. He's doing some stupid stuff with these banelings, killing supply depots like in factory. Like, what is he even thinking? But again, we're benchmarking against ourselves. This is a Silver League game. We're not expecting our opponents to do intelligent things, so whatever. Despite the fact that you just lost all your infrastructure and you're clearly going to win the game from here because that was a stupid thing for him to have done, you definitely missed the orbital benchmark, definitely missed the gas income benchmark, and therefore intelligently missed the infrastructural benchmark, because why build infrastructure you can't use? Like, if you don't have the gas income, why make 10 factories, right? So you did do good at dropping mules with the CCs you have because you don't have any CCs, and from here on out benchmarking is completely pointless. So I just want to say again, you missed every single benchmark and you were probably going to win this game, but again, you're competing against yourself, not him, and in your race to beat yourself, you didn't really win the fight against yourself. So yeah, you kill this guy because he's a noob. But doesn't matter because we're not fighting him, we're fighting ourselves.